Okay, this is the Blue and Neutral channel. Thank you for joining. So, the final of the African Cup of Nations is set. We have Senegal versus the hosts Morocco. But before we discuss that, let's go back to the semi-final matches, starting with Egypt versus Senegal. The less we speak about this game, the better. But I guess because I have a YouTube channel, I'm forced to discuss it. Anyway, the best way I could summarize Egypt versus Senegal is that both teams were extremely cautious. No real desire to attack, no real desire to take any risks. I think Senegal were completely dominant without really creating any clear chances. And Egypt, on the other hand, were just content with just defending and just hoping to punish Senegal on the counter-attack. And I feel in this whole match, the only player trying to do anything in the first half and even parts of the second half was Ndiaye. I think Ndiaye at least was trying to be a bit more dynamic, trying to take players on. He was a bit skillful. At least everything Ndiaye was doing was a bit more positive. But everyone else on the pitch was just content to do the basics. But yeah, in the battle between Salah and Mane, Mane comes out on top, obviously because of the goal that he scored. It was a nice finish by Mane. It fell to him a little fortuitously. It was a bit lucky that it fell to him, but it was a good finish. By Mane. Yeah, again, I don't want to be too critical of Senegal's performance, but it feels like they're about to, cruise control their way to the Afcon title. But do the Senegalese fans care? No, I don't think if you're a Senegalese fan, you don't care. You're in the final. Anything can happen in the final. It doesn't matter what you do. The point is that you've gotten to the final, and that's all that matters. But if I'm an Egyptian fan, I'm beyond disappointed. In fact, I'm probably really angry at this performance for a team that's the most successful in African football. That was a very, I'd say, a very sad way, a very disappointing way of going out in that tournament, because there was really no fight in that semi-final for Egypt. There was no real ambition. There was no real belief with this Egyptian team in that game. It felt like Algeria. It's just the same way Algeria went out against Nigeria. There was no real determination to do anything going forward, and you just hope that you'll get one chance and hopefully capitalize. But for Egypt, they did not get their chance, and by that point, it was just too little, too late at the end. There was no real belief, no desire that they could win. But yeah, Egypt 0, Senegal 1, and yeah, for Egypt, disappointing. For Senegal, huge final coming up. Yeah, and in the other semi-final between Morocco and Nigeria, Morocco deservedly beat Nigeria 4-2 on penalties after the game ending scoreless in regular time and extra time. But listen, the referee didn't have the best game, but let's be honest. Let's just be real here. Morocco created more chances in this match and forced Nobali to make some crucial saves for Nigeria. Other than the Lookman shot in the first half, I struggle to remember any chance that Nigeria created or any shot that really tested Bono in goal for Morocco. Make no mistake, Nigeria have been ruthless in this tournament, and the fact that Morocco kept them quiet should be applauded. Nigeria have been very good in this tournament, so Morocco just stood up and were counted. And maybe, just maybe, that's why Morocco might win this tournament. They're not afraid to mix it up, to win direct balls. they're not afraid to play direct balls going forward, and they let their wingers express themselves and dribble. I think Zuli was really good in this match. Diaz created a lot of chaos for Nigeria on that right side. But Morocco really have been really good. They're finding ways to win, and right now they're only 90 minutes away from winning their first title since 1976. From a Nigerian perspective, Victor Osimhen needs to take a penalty. I always look back to the 2010 World Cup when Asamoah Gyan stepped up to take that penalty in the last minute versus Uruguay. He ended up missing, which was a huge opportunity for an African team to get to the semi-final at the time for the first time. He misses that penalty. It goes to penalties, but he's brave enough to be the first one to take the penalty, to take the first penalty in the shootout, and he scores. Ghana end up losing, but I always look back on that and think to myself, wow, it takes incredible courage to still step up after you've missed probably one of the biggest penalties of your career. So it's a mentality thing. I know it's easy for me to sit here and say Osimhen should do this or Osimhen should do that, but there have been players, the best players typically in football, step up and take big penalties for their teams. They step up and take big penalties for their countries. If you miss, maybe that's just something you have to deal with. But the fact that Nigeria have gone to penalties in back-to-back games where, the first one against DR Congo, they lost. Now against Morocco, to get to the final, they've lost. So surely Osimhen, as one of the best players on this team, should have stepped up. Credit to Onwachu stepped up and took a fantastic penalty, but I'm sorry, Victor Osimhen, Ademola Lookman, these are the players really that should be stepping up to take the penalties, but they shied away, and unfortunately for Nigeria, they lost this match. Credit to Nabali for making some good saves, but ultimately Nigeria are out of the African Cup of Nations. So big final coming up on Sunday. I'll be doing a live watch along at 2 p.m. Eastern American time, and should be a good match between Senegal and Morocco. Really both teams have deserved to be in the final, so really looking forward to that. And thank you for listening. Thank you for joining the Blue and Neutral channel. Kindly like, kindly subscribe. And who do you think will win the final? Do you think Morocco will come out on top? Do you think Senegal will come out on top? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you. See you on Sunday.